studio video conference for CEOs. So this slide, so please the present.
Father, thank you for bringing us together safely. As we prepare for this meeting, we ask that you prepare our hearts and lead us in your wisdom. May we set aside our own agendas and seek what you desire for us to accomplish during this meeting. Please direct our thoughts and guide our discussion. Help us to be attentive and respectful in one another's input and to work as a team. We ask that you grant us clarity of mind and lead us to helpful solutions. In Jesus' name, amen.
Ngayon, panahon ko sa Secretary of Trade, pero may attendance pa rin sa mga conference.
Good morning, everyone, for today's pre-bid conference for Civil Works dated June 2, 2025. Present this morning, we have our back chairperson, Engineer Marcelino Cabig Engineer, our back vice chairperson, Engineer Donald Mark F. Barangay, and also we have our back provisional member, Engineer Harold C. Carmari. And from our observer, we have Attorney Sheila Banachita. Good morning, sir. And we have Barangay Captain Benito Salvacion from LGU Barangay Poblacion, Kinoguitan. Good morning, sir. And to present project ID 25KK0076, we have from the Parang Science Section, Engineer Almar Saavedra. And yours truly, your back head Secretariat Procurement in it head April Jane D. Picasares. That's all, sir.
Thank you, Engineer Fred, for giving us the attendance for this morning video conference. So since the Bill Awards Committee is quorum, so I now call this video conference for Civil Works April June 2020 to order. So may I request from the representative from the planning and science section to present the project.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and good morning, YouTube live viewers. So for today's pre-bid conference, we have 25KK006, or the construction of Seawall at Barangay Poblacion, Kinoguitan, Misamis Oriental. So for this scope of work, it is the construction of a 314.16 meter seawall with structural sheet pile, which includes man-laid rock embankment, lean concrete, 40 reinforcing steel bars, and concrete facing. So, as for the appropriation, we have 100 million and approved budget cost of 96,500,000 pesos and a duration of 306 days. Next, please. So, as per validation with Mayor Lagbas and Vice Mayor, including its members, so we have inspected ng atong segment 1, which is 50 meters, is sumpay pa sa existing seawall, no? So, cap nadiri ang ato ang first nga segment cap sa 50 meters sa end sa seawall nato. And ang atong remaining 264.16 linear meters is sumpay lang po sa seawall nga putol na existing. So, upon validation, diri wala makayitay problema sa mga structures. But the recap is not atong na-resolve din nga katong mga balay, which is si Mayor ang nagpasalig o si Vice Mayor nga ila ko ng lihukon din nila. So, yung version na rin is recap is 50 linear meters and the second segment is 264.16 linear meters. So, next please. So, muna ang mga survey tools taken during pag-auban sa office. Next, please. So, muna ang atong typical section, no? According to RDO. So, seawall with a steel sheet pile. Typical section with 2 meters na top. So, next, please. Muna sa segment 2, no? mo ni ang seawall na putol, so kaning color green mo ni ang footprint, proposed nga footprint para sa ato ang seawall nga buhaton. Next please. So these are the specific bill of quantities para aning project. Provision of office for the engineer, 10.2 safety and health, 1 lump sum mobilization, demobilization, 1 lump sum clearing and grubbing, we have 6,283.2 square meters. Structure excavation, 1,806.8 cubic meters. Reinforcing steel, grade 40, we have 6,765.53 kilograms. Structural concrete, 3,000 PSI class A, we have 270.18 cubic meters. Lean concrete, 306.93 cubic meters. Also, concrete slope protection, 983.32 cubic meters. Structural steel sheet piles, furnished and driven, we have 4,896 meters and 4,773.6 meters respectively. And lastly, for the hand laid rock embankment, we have 3,902.91 cubic meters. So that's all for the 25 KK0076. So, mo lang po ang highlights atong project is we have 2 segments. First segment is 50 meters and the second segment is 264.16 meters. Both sila sigkatumoy sa mga existing seawall. So, are there any questions?
Okay, so thank you, Engineer Alma, for the presentation. So, any clarification, Kap? Napaka-clarify ito ng presentation.
Contribution ba? Gamay option. Bilay expansion nito na ko diya sa yuta nito sa Riverbank.
Actually, kani gid diri Kap kay medyo kani ganing seawall nga gitrabaho diri sa una kay gitambakan mo nato ni gusto ka dili kita makahilabot sa mga tao bitaw. So more or less ang atong approach ani diri Kap mo gipunta kung asa ang riverbank ato pa to siyang i-forward gamay para di na po kaya ta po ang makuha diri sa likod po lagi. So more or less Kap nani siya sa mga 5 meters.
5 meters lang from
5
the
meters.
project.
Pero dili pa nato na ma-assure Kap kung dili ma-speak sa kanang kung kinsa man gani ang contractor. So pero more or less sa atong plano karon Kap nasa mga 5 meters.
Salamat kayo kay. Naman ko sa previous nga pero pwede ko naman sila. Sa previous ko naman nga project atong Seawall. Niipit man gud kayo ang yuta sa kulay kanang yuta gina sa barangay. Naipit kayo kay sigon sa inyong plano, doon pa expand dito gikan sa dagat. Pumunta mo, itipid niya dito sa yuta dito. So wala ka sa mga apply feeling. Utong hanyo ko dito nga kung mahimo, napapay panahon. Sibuk-sibuk ko lang ta. Wa mo ko pansina to. So gusto na ko mo sulat sa director sa resolution na medyo ikonsinsahan sa gamay kay kung manay ko nga kung may muna mahibasi ko niya maapektahan nga akong project. Wala na lang akong parameter. Pero konsensya na ako kay ako kay bundok sa mga tao yung pa siya. Kaya, siyempre, siya ako kung doon. Kaya kung islang doon sa kontraktor, na muna yung tabo nga, muna nuta na kong projero, pilag yun, di kan sa yuta get approach, span pa yun dito sa tubig. So, that is 5 meters.
More or less, sir, maano pa na siya, maato sa track pa na siya, depende sa actual din. Yan lang po na ako, sir, is, aware naman ka, sir, nga kanang nahimo naman itong zipline din ng foundation doon, sir. Kaya before, wala pa man siya, sir. Kap, wala pa man to siya. So, ang ato na pong isa ka-challenge is ang ato na pong mobilization na po sa atong mga equipment, which is aware po si Mayor o si Vice Mayor kung nagkupan ng nidiri. So, muto yung pasalig na ato gina siyang ang iyan diri or diri sa katong na kabalay dito nga pinakauna gito. Ato siya Kap. Okay. Tapos kung makita po nimo katong mangrove na pinakauna, somewhere dito po ang atong 50 meters po tayo ang katoka.
Thank you, Kap, for the
So,
because ilang mga residente niya.
Pero pasali ka sa kapit sa inyo, pasali mo. Yes, sir. Traffic timing, yes, sir. Iba lang din sa abilities.
Okay, thank you. So,
Bill and Rights Committee, question. We will proceed for the technical checklist of technical financial requirements.
Checklist of technical and financial documents and other requirements for infrastructure projects. Submission and receipt of bids for technical component and bill. Class A, legal documents. A, valid projects registration certificate with platinum membership. All pages in accordance with section 8.5.2 of the IRR. Field-check certificate of registration and membership. All bidders shall upload and maintain in Field-checks a current and updated file of the following Class A eligibility documents under sections 23.1A and 24.1A. 1. Registration certificate. 2. Mayor's business permit or its equivalent document. 3. Tax clearance. 4. Pickup license and registration. And 5. Audited financial statements or AFS. Note that section 8.5.2 of the IRR states that for the purpose of updating the certificate of registration and membership, all Class A eligibility documents mentioned in this section supporting the veracity, authenticity, and validity of the certificate shall remain current and updated. The failure by the prospective bidder to update its certificate with the current and updated Class A eligibility documents shall result in the automatic suspension of the validity of its certificate until such time that all of the expired Class A eligibility documents has been updated. Technical documents. B. Statement of the prospective bidder and all its ongoing government and private contracts, including contracts awarded but not yet started in any, whether similar or not similar in nature and complexity, to the contract to be bid. And C. Statement of the bidder's single largest completed contract, or SLCC, similar to the contract to be bid, except under conditions provided under the rules. And D. Special drug license in case of joint ventures and registration for the type and cost of the contract to be bid. And E. Original copy of bid security in the form of a surety bond. Submit also a certification issued by the Insurance Commission or original copy of notarized bid securing declaration. Single largest completed contract, or SLCC. The SLCC completed should be similar to the contract to be bid or has the same major category support. The SLCC's value should be at least 50% of the ABC to be bid upon adjustment to current prices using the PSA Consumer Price Indices. Contractors under small A and small B categories without similar experience on the contract may participate if the cost of the contract to be bid is not more than the allowable range of contract costs, or ARCC, of the registration. Bid security. Purpose: to guarantee that the successful bidder shall, within 10 calendar days from receipt of the notice of award, enter into contract with the key and furnish the performance certified form of bid security. A. Cash or cashier's manager's check. Amount 2% of ABC. B. Bank guarantee or draft or irrevocable letter of credit issued by a universal or commercial bank. Amount 2% of ABC. C. Surety bond callable upon demand, accompanied by certification from Insurance Commission. Amount 5% of ABC. D. Bid securing declaration. Amount no percentage required. Only one form of bid security is required to be submitted. Bidders have the option to choose their preferred form of bid security. F. Project requirements, which shall include the following. A. Organizational chart for the contract to be bid. B. List of contractors' key personnel, such as the project manager, project engineers, materials engineers, foreman, safety officer, and health personnel, or first aider to be assigned to the contract to be bid with their complete qualification and experience data. C. List of contractors' major equipment units which are owned, leased, and or under purchase agreements, supported by proof of ownership or certification of availability of equipment from the lessor or vendor for the duration of the project, as the case may be. Contractors' key personnel. The key personnel should meet the following number of years' work experience. Mean an engineering consultancy service. Include the tax identification number or TIN of the key personnel. Compliance to DEO 98 series of 2016 revised guidelines on the accreditation of contractors or consultants materials engineer and to include a contact number of the materials engineer. Compliance to DO 148 series of 2024 guidelines in the accreditation and assignment of contractors and consultants project engineer. As an employee of the bidder, a certification that the personnel will be pulled out from the ongoing project once the bidder is awarded the contract. And two, he or she will be replaced with another person with equal or better qualifications as certified by the head of the implementing office pursuant to Department Order Number 9, Series of 2012. The proposed key personnel and replacement must be named in the bidding document. The key personnel required are the following. One project manager with 5 years of general experience and 5 years of relevant experience. Note that a valid and updated government issued ID with 3 signatures should be attached. The second key personnel is one project engineer with 5 years of experience, 3 years of relevant experience, and is a DPWH accredited project engineer. Note that a valid and updated PRC license ID and project engineer certificate with 3 signatures should be attached. The third key personnel is one materials engineer with 5 years of general experience, 3 years of relevant experience, and is a DPWH accredited materials engineer. Note that a valid and updated PRC license ID and materials engineer certificate with 3 signatures should be attached. The fourth key personnel is one foreman with 5 years of general experience and 3 years of relevant experience. Note that a valid and updated government issued ID with 3 signatures should be attached. The fifth key personnel is one safety officer with 5 years of general experience and 3 years of relevant experience. Note that a certificate of training issued by DOLE and a valid and updated government issued ID with 3 signatures should be attached. The last key personnel is one full-time health personnel. Note that a certificate of training and a valid and updated government issued ID with 3 signatures should be attached. All in all, there should be 4 personnel. Other personnel, such as the skillman, carpenter, in the contractor's major equipment units. The contractor is required to provide proofs of ownership and other supporting documents for equipment owned, lease agreements for equipment agreements, and or under purchase agreements, supported by certificate of availability of equipment from the equipment lessor or vendor for the duration of the projects. Proofs of ownership and other supporting documents for equipment must specify and indicate the model or year, capacity, performance, motor number, engine serial number, specific location and condition, per department or factors minimum materials testing equipment. Please refer to DO number 11, series of 2017 for the minimum material testing equipment. DPWH Procurement Manual Volume 2, Infrastructure Main Guidelines, specifically requires the submission of the materials testing equipment, technical proposal, and clause 5.6.2.8.4.c project requirements using form DPWH INFR 15, list of contractors, major construction, and laboratory equipment units to be assigned to the contract, supported by certifications of availability. G. Original duly signed omnibus sworn statement, or OSS, and if applicable, original notarized secretarial certificate in case of a corporation, partnership, or cooperative, or original special power of attorney of all members of the joint venture, giving full power and authority to its officer to sign the OSS and do acts to represent the bidder. Financial documents. H. The respective bidder's computation of net financial contracting capacity, or NFCC. Class B. I. If applicable, duly signed joint venture agreement, or JVA, in accordance with RA number 4566 and its IRR, in case the joint venture is already in existence, or duly notarized statements from all the potential joint venture partners stating that they will enter into and abide by the provisions of the JVA in the instance that the bid is successful. For the financial component envelope, J. Original of duly signed and accomplished financial bid form, and other documentary requirements under RA number 9184. K. Original of duly signed bid prices in the bill of quantities. L. Duly accomplished detailed estimates form, including a summary sheet indicating the unit prices of goods and equipment rentals used in coming up with a bid, and M. Cash flow by quarter. Detailed estimates. According to DO 197, series of 2016, the following items shall not be subjected to OCM and profit. 1. Mobilization and demobilization. 2. Provision of service fee. 3. Permits and clearances. According to DO 197, series of 2016, the following non-civil works functions shall not be subjected to living quarters with rental basis, furnishing of furnitures, lab equipment, survey equipment and machineries, assistance to the engineers, photographs, health and safety, traffic management, environmental compliance, communication equipment, etc. Bid submission may be done manually or electronically online. However, bidders should only select one mode of submission, either manual or electronic. The address for receipt of bids submitted manually is back conference room, 3rd floor, DPWH Misamis Barangay 26, Kinoguitan, Misamis Oriental. For electronic submission, electronic bids _ Misamis Oriental 1 at DPWH Bid evaluation. The financial component of the bids of each past bidder shall be evaluated using non-discretionary criteria for errors and thus determine the correct total calculated bid prices. The VAT shall automatically disqualify any total calculated bid price which exceeds the ABC. The following factors are to be considered: completeness, no price in required content, non-compliant, indicating a zero or a dash due to the GLP. All prices are deemed to include all taxes. Bids not addressing or providing all of the required items in the bidding documents, including where applicable DEO, shall be considered non-responsive. Arithmetical corrections. Bid process in figures versus words. Words per bid. Total price versus unit price per item. Unit price per item per bids. Total price versus actual sum of component items. Actual sum per bids. Unit cost in detailed estimate versus unit cost in DOT. DOT per bids. Post qualification. Verification of legal requirements, licenses, certificates, permits, non-inclusion in blacklist. Verification of technical requirements. Key personnel where minimum work experience requirements should be satisfied. Availability and commitment of major construction equipment and materials or laboratory equipment. Performance in ongoing government and private contracts. Negative slippage of at least 15% in any project, or a negative slippage of at least 10% in each of 2 or more contracts. Failure of the contractor to commence repair works on ongoing contracts within 7 calendar days and to complete them within 30 calendar days after receipt of the procuring entity's notice of defects and deficiencies. Failure of the contractor to commence repair works on contracts with pending certificates of acceptance within 30 calendar days and complete them within 90 days after receipt of the procuring entity's notice of defects and failures. Verification of technical requirements. Substandard quality of work as per contract plans and specifications, or unsatisfactory performance of the contractor's obligations as per contract terms and conditions at the time of inspection. Verification of financial requirements. Bid as proposal and NFC fee. Contract award. The contract shall be awarded to the bidder whose bid has been determined to be the lowest calculated and responsive bid, or LCLP, as a result of the detailed evaluation and post-qualification conducted. The successful bidder shall be notified through the issuance of notice of award within the bid validity period and must be confirmed by the successful bidder in writing within 10 days upon receipt thereof, in accordance with section 37.2.2 of the 2016 revised IRR of RA 9184. Common reasons for rejection of bids, ineligibility, and post-disqualification of bidder. 1. Failure to submit original copy of the surety bond certified by the Issuance Commission indicating the name of project, the procuring entity, and name of contractor. 2. Shorter bid validity and bid security validity period. 3. Overlapping of pledged equipment and committed key technical personnel. 4. Failure to indicate the validity of bid in the bid. 5. Late submission of bids. 6. Failure to submit supporting documents, such as the certification of availability of equipment from the equipment lessor or vendor for the duration of the project, if the equipment pledge is to be leased or purchased. 7. Negative slippage in the ongoing projects, negative 15% or more, or negative 10 in each of the two or more ongoing projects. 8. Unsatisfactory sequence written. 9. Incomplete pages of bid documents. 10. Authority of the signatory to sign on behalf of the bidder. Single proprietor. Signatory should be the owner or proprietor only. Corporation or cooperative, board secretary certificate and board resolution. Joint venture resolution agreement. Partnership, as indicated in the articles of partnership. That is all. Thank you. Strike policy in the procurement of contracts for infrastructure works, goods, and consulting services as per Department Order number 17 series of 2015. Free strike 69.1. In addition to provisions of rules 21 and 22 of this IRR, the hope, subject to the authority delegated to the BAC, if any, shall impose on bidders or prospective bidders the penalty of suspension for 1 year for the first offense, the competitive bidding process, as well as disqualification from further participating in the competitive bidding being undertaken by the procuring entity concerned, were applicable for the following violations. All other acts that tend to defeat the purpose of competitive bidding, such as habitually withdrawing from bidding, submitting late bids, or patently insufficient bid for at least 3 times within a year, except for valid reasons. Rights violation. 1. A bidder that had purchased bidding documents but subsequently withdrawn from the bidding or submitted a letter of non-participation or did not submit a bid without a valid cause as determined with the bids and awards committee concerned. A bidder submitting insufficient, defective documents such as insufficient bid securities and other deficiencies. A bidder submitting a late bid without a valid cause as determined by the BAC concerned. Other acts that tend to defeat the purpose of bidding, public bidding, as determined by the concerned BAC, provided had been indicated as cost in the instructions to bidder quotas or similar instruments. Strikes violations. A bidder that had purchased bidding documents that set valid reasons, upon computation, its price bid was determined to be above the ATC, or goods to be supplied are no longer available in the market. A bidder submitting a late bid with a valid cost as determined by the BAC concerned. Valid reason due to force majeure and quarantine restrictions. A bidder submitting insufficient and defective documents such as insufficient bid securities. Number 1, bid security not in the name of the bidder. Number 2, insufficient amount and validity period. Number 3, not issued in the name of the procuring entity. Submission of not valid filges. The failure of the prospective bidder to submit its filged certificate with the current and updated Class A eligibility documents. Example, legal and financial documents. Valid reason not accepted. Failure to submit mandatory forms. Price schedule, bid form, notarized bid securing declaration, notarized omnibus sworn statement, other required forms from bid security aside from the bid securing declaration, statement of the bidder of all bids ongoing for government and private contracts, including contracts awarded but not yet started. Statement of the bidders SLCC similar to the contract to be bid. Owner's certificate of acceptance or CPE's rating accompanying the statement of the bidders SLCC. Bidders computation of NFCC or committed line of credit for goods. Notarized joint venture agreement or notarized statements as to forming GV for goods. Certification as to reciprocity of the foreign bidders for goods. special pickup license for joint venture for infrastructure, DUPA and cash flow for infrastructure. Valid reasons not acceptable. For CSD, failure to submit any of the following: certificate of employment, contract agreement, curriculum vitae. Valid reasons not accepted. Submission of the following required forms as indicated in the sixth edition of the Philippine Legal Documents without name, legal capacity, and signature of the bidder authorized representative. Number one, bid 4. Number 2, price schedules. Number 3, bid securing declaration. Number 4, omnibus sworn statement. Number 5, GBA. Valid reasons not acceptable. Nomination of key personnel of different profession as per requirement of the bidding document. Valid reason not applicable. Failure to submit proof of ownership, lease, purchase agreement of pledged equipment. Valid reason not applicable. Failure to submit certification of key personnel, Department Order 9 Series 2012. Valid reason not applicable. Failure to comply with the required number of key personnel and equipment. Valid reason not applicable. Participating in the bidding but not related business type as indicated in the mayor's permit for goods. Valid reasons not applicable.
And additional information for our prospective bidders. So these are the scheduled procurement activities for the presented project. For issuance or downloading bidding documents, deadline will be on June 16, 2025 until 8:30 a.m. and hard copies are available at procurement unit, 3rd floor, DPWH Misamis. And these bidding documents can be downloaded from DPWH website and project's website. And for the receipt of bids or dropping of bidding documents, deadline will be on June 16, 2025 until 10 a.m. And for the schedule of the opening of bids, it will be on June 16, 2025 at 10 a.m. immediately after the submission of bids. The required category 4 is FCSP or Flood Control Construction Shore Protection, Seawall or Breakwater. And as shown, this is a sample of the technical and financial documents to be submitted. Note, the bid and supporting documents should be hard and properly done. So that's all, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Thank you, Engineer Pro, for the review of the procurement activities for these projects. And so, any questions from the online viewers now? So, since the previous conference is already done, so any motion for the adjournment of this conference for civil works, it has been more than seconded for the adjournment of the previous conference for civil works, June 2025. So I will now declare this previous conference for civil works adjourned. Thank you, YouTube live viewers, for watching, and thank you.